Hi, this is Bruce here for September 25th, 2022, doing the Just for Today reading for recovery, 12-step recovery. Okay, I'll do the reading first, then I'll read some notes that I made. September 25th, thought for the day. Let us consider the term spiritual experience as given in appendix to the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. A spiritual experience is something that brings about a personality change. By surrendering our lives to God as we understand Him, we are changed. The nature of this change is evident in recovered alcoholics. This personality change is not necessarily in the nature of a sudden and spectacular upheaval. We do not need to acquire an immediate and overwhelming God consciousness, followed at once by a vast change in feeling and outlook. No, in most cases, the change is gradual. Do I see a gradual and continuing change in myself? Yes. Meditation for the day. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. For rest from the care of life, you can turn to God each day in prayer and communion. Real relaxation and serenity come from a deep sense of the fundamental goodness of the universe. God's everlasting arms are underneath all and will support you. Commune with God, not so much for the petitions to be granted as for the rest that comes from relying on His will and His purposes for your life. Be sure of God's strength available to you. Be conscious of His support, and wait quietly until that true rest from God fills your being. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be conscious of God's support today, that I pray that I may rest safe and sure therein. And that's a cool one. I like it a lot. Really makes me... One of the things I like to say is smile and relax. I had a sponsor that's told me that all the time. I said, well, the most important thing in life is to smile and relax. And it is, right? It's a great thing because smiling makes us relaxed and relaxing makes us smile. And really, if you're smiling and relaxing, then nothing is wrong in your life. Try it sometime. So anyway, my notes pretty much echo exactly what that reading said. Spiritual awakening, something that brings about a personality change. I surrender my life to a higher power instead, a higher power like God, as opposed to a higher power like alcohol, drugs, sex, or food. Right? There's an important distinction there. When my life was run by alcohol was definitely a higher power. But now I have one that is of my own understanding, and it's very much God-like. It's a loving, all-powerful source energy that, I can choose to turn my will and my life over to. And so that's what I do, I do that every day. It's a higher power that's good for me. This surrender changes me. It frees me up from the domination of addiction. For me, the spiritual change is very gradual. It is not overwhelming. It is generally hard won over days of plugging away at life and doing so with the program of action for living found in the 12 steps. I see a gradual and continuing change in myself. Wow. It's weird. Siri just came into my video here. Strange. Anyway, sorry about that. Maybe I can edit that out. I see a gradual and continuing change in myself. Meditation for the day. There is rest in God. From the cares of the world, God can give rest. Prayer and communion produces real relaxation and serenity, and a deep sense of the fundamental goodness of the universe. God supports me. Communing with God produces rest by relying on God's will. God's will is always good, always the best plan of action. God's purpose for me is perfection. I am sure of God's strength available to me, and I am conscious of God's support, and I pause and wait quietly until that true rest from God fills my being. The prayer for the day. I pray that I may be conscious of God's support and that I may rest safe and sure therein. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Smile and relax.